Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're all doing good. I know, usually it's a game night, but there's been so much stuff going on over the past day that I couldn't cover it all in videos. It's been absolutely wild. There's been so much stuff going on. Not that it's particularly shocking to see some of the people in the gaming industry and in entertainment in general, like responding this way, because so many of them are just genuinely terrible people who have absolutely no compassion for any other human being besides themselves. That I figured I would do a discussion stream, even though it was supposed to be game day. But I think this weekend, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about Borderlands 4 a little bit later in the stream because it released today, I believe in early access. And it's going as we expected. You can't expect new games to launch in a decent state. But yep, Borderlands 4 launched buggy and broken. And don't forget, days and days ago, we had Randy Pitchford, Mr. Medieval Times USB himself, saying the day one patch is amazing, but it's not going to work miracles. And we can see it didn't really work much because people's games are still broken. It's so stupid. It's so stupid that they release a game that they know is nowhere close to being done, and then it comes out and it's absolutely messed up. But that's the case with Borderlands 4. We're going to talk about 007 a little bit later as well, because First Light has already been kind of a controversial game with the fact that they chose a younger James Bond, and they're modernizing all of the Bond girls and the females that are in it, of course. And now we're finding out that, well, apparently it's gonna be even worse because the art director admitted that there were steps taken to avoid certain traits of Bond, which is always great. I love when developers get their claws into a franchise that they don't give a fuck about, and then they're like, yeah, we completely modernized it, because that's definitely like what the audience wants, for sure. That's always a great freaking plan. And we're gonna start off the stream, of course, with one of the big reasons why I wanted to do the stream. I mean, of course, I'm a woman, right? So I yap a lot. But of course, over the past day, there's been a lot of news surrounding Charlie Kirk. And, well, earlier I did a video on the absolutely vile devs and journos who were praising the assassination. But when I was making the video, I was like, there are so many examples of this happening. Like, if I commentated on every single one, I'd be here for a million hours. So as the day had progressed, I kept seeing more and more examples. As you can see at the top of my screen, these are all tabs that are of people who are celebrating. I have like 20 tabs, and some of them are threads of people. There's also content creators now who are saying that they're not going to support Yote, and of course the, I guess, modern audience, the 5 people that actually buy the games, and then the 100,000 others who claim they're going to buy the games that never show up to buy them, are absolutely trashing people who are saying that they're not going to buy it and not going to support it, which of course I think is ridiculous. Like, if you want to buy a game or you don't want to buy a game, that's your choice. Nobody's entitled to, you know, buying a game or making money off of a game. These developers don't automatically deserve your money just because they've made a good game in the past. And yeah, some of these people are not taking the potential boycott very well. So lots to talk about. Anyway, hi guys, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships at the start of stream, or before stream started. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Monty, thank you for the 11 euros. I almost said pounds. Thank you, Montesquieu. As sad and shocking as this tragedy is, it's also a good litmus test for all these leftoids to self-report, remember them and boycott them permanently. It's so funny that these people genuinely believe that they don't represent the companies they're working for. Like, sure, I get that these companies have allowed these people to get away with saying a lot over the past couple of years, but in every scenario, in every company contract, they specify that they can boot you whenever they want because you do technically represent their company. And I know that, you know, there's some people out there who don't think that should be the case. I think social media policies are I understand why they're in place for situations like this, but I also think that it gives companies a lot of room to be able to, like, fire people who aren't actually pushing the limits. It's basically, it can be good, but it can be bad. But just because you put in your bio on X or Blue Sky, in the case of these people, just because you put in your bio, my opinions are my own, doesn't mean that they can't be used against the company you're working for. Like, that's always been the case. But thank you for that. Lamar, thank you for the 5. I'm sorry for Charlie Kirk's death. Even in Canada, I can feel it. I hope the best for all you Americans. It's tough. There's a lot of divide. It's unfortunate. I saw a post earlier. I was talking just about the difference of, you know, when, of course, 9/11 happened, because today's 9/11, how united the United States was versus how divided it is today on its anniversary. It's pretty fucked up. But thank you so much for that. Zero, thank you for the 2. Update your browser. It is triggering my OCD. What do you mean, update my browser? What happened with my browser? What's wrong with my browser? Thank you for the 2. Minimal effort. Thank you for the 2. My heart hurts. How can people be so evil? Yeah. I mean, again, not everybody has to agree with every opinion he had, but you'd think as, like, human beings, right? People would have a general fucking level of sympathy or respect for him and his family, but they don't, because they allow politics to, I don't want to just say divide them, right? Because politics have always been divisive. There's always going to be people who completely agree and completely disagree with each other. But it's like there are these people, especially right now on the left, the lunatics, right, who don't view people on the right or anybody that they generally disagree with as human beings. They don't treat, anybody basically that isn't themselves as human beings, which is, of course, like a disgusting mindset to have, but that's how these people are. Girthy Banana, thank you for the 2. Let's continue to make these people famous. Yeah, you know, I initially was going to be playing Silksong today. We'll get back to Silksong this weekend. I think on Saturday and Sunday we're going to try Borderlands 4, and then we'll go back to Silksong and we'll finish up Silksong. We'll play it until completion, not continuation. But, you know, there's just so many examples of this happening that it'd be like a million videos. And so I figured, we'll do a stream. We'll talk about it, because these people want attention so badly. I feel that it's only important that they actually get the attention that they're begging for. DSP said he's better than you at Silksong. Hey, I gotta give DSP a little bit of credit. Even though he sits there and he begs for money all the time, and he complains when you don't give it to him and he fucking sucks at games, I guess at least he's playing them. Some of them. Not all of them. And not well. Not even good. Not even decently. He's putting in like 5% of the effort. But at the same time, I guess technically it's good that he's playing them. In some way. It makes for good content. Man, my whole feed is DSP now. I get spammed with DSP clips and videos all the time now. Anyway, hello, Ryan. Girthy Banana, thank you for the second 2. May the consequences be as loud as their actions. Yeah, you know, it is what it is, and it's not good for them, that's for sure. These people have no sympathy, so why would I have sympathy for them losing their jobs? Mongoose, thank you for the gifted membership. Much appreciated. Corona, thank you for the 5. I can't even imagine having beliefs and ideas so weak that I need to game over someone for nothing more than disagree. He wasn't even a politician, he was just a commentator. Not that it would make it any better, but he wasn't technically affecting any of the laws or the policies that affect anybody else. He just did what any other citizen can do and voiced his opinion. And sure, he definitely probably swayed some people's opinions, but ultimately anybody could do that. Your grandma walking down the street could do that. Granny better be careful. I feel bad for Granny. She lived a long life. Diego, thank you for the 2 months as a member, as a Bronze Titan. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. So, yeah, you know, usually I don't do discussion streams on Thursdays, but I had to get away from pretending to play video games for a couple hours. We need DSP versus Vera Street Fighter match. That would be crazy. Think we could ever get DSP on one of these streams? We need to get him on an episode of FML. Because that's all his life is. That clip of the Snake Eater gameplay, that was good. Honestly, I think that might be one of my favorite clips of DSP ever. It was so funny. DSP is the better streamer. How's that the case? Sheesh. I was gonna type something, then I hit the wrong button. Well, if you type it, then I can read it. I also saw Bungie said something. Also, what is Sony gonna do about it? Well, I haven't seen anything regarding anyone at Bungie. So if that does exist, feel free to tag me on X or put it in the Discord. I haven't seen anything with anybody from Bungie, but Sony/Sucker Punch has reacted to the Ghost of Yotei situation. Sony has, in some way, shape, or form, responded by, it seems, firing that developer. There's actually a couple of people today that have been fired. People from MSNBC, people from Sony/Sucker Punch, people from DC. I mean, again, I'm not going to sit here and shed a tear for any of these people. I mean, if that's, you know, the decision that they want to make, and these are the statements they want to make, hey, they can make these statements. But, of course, they're fucking degenerate statements, and they're gonna get absolutely wrecked for it. I mean, hey, you can say it. We already know you hate people that don't automatically agree with you. But I guess it's kind of good that they're letting it out so that they can get fired. I mean, with something like Yotei and Sucker Punch and Sony, right? One person being fired isn't going to change the entire, like, company mentality. There are still plenty of people that work at these companies who think the same exact way, only they're, I guess we'll say, smart about staying silent because they don't want to lose their jobs. But we know that there's plenty of people that work at these companies who think the same exact thing that just aren't making statements about it. So it's not like, you know, one person being fired at each of these organizations is going to, like, change the entire company mentality or the mindset that's there. But at the same time, like, one is technically better than none. Hey, Vera, did you cover the J.K. Rowling was put on a hit list alongside Elon and others? I don't know about that, but judging by the state of the world, it would surprise me if they weren't on one. That is, it's shit, but it is so true because there's so many people out there who are so unhinged, who want people silenced, as we can see, because they have opinions that some people don't agree with. It's so fucked up. It really is so fucked up. But yeah, all right. Let's begin with my 18,000 tabs that I've got open. So obviously, we all know about the Charlie Kirk situation. I'm not gonna go back through, you know, videos and describing it. I definitely don't need to at this point. But over the past, you know, 24 hours, there have been a lot of people on social media who, of course, are voicing how heartbroken they are, how upset they are, how terrible the situation is. But there are also people out there who are praising the situation and saying, you know what, good, which, of course, is absolutely terrible. These insane leftists have absolutely no care or respect for other human beings, and they are saying that they hope that it even happens to more people. Now, that's not always the case with, it's not the case with every single one of these individuals, but there are also some saying that this should be happening more, which of course is even worse. But we've all been talking about, you know, a lot of these companies, a lot of these studios over the past couple of years, and how many insane activists there are within these companies, and how they don't have any respect for anybody besides themselves or the people that push their, you know, same talking points and agendas. And now I guess they're just admitting that they really don't care about anybody that is not them or their group. And they're happy that this is happening. And luckily, you know, over the past couple of years, gamers have become much more vocal. And I would just say people on social media have become more vocal in general, which means that these people can't say a single thing without getting called out for it, and you love to see it. So let's start off with Ghost of Yotei. This is a game that was already controversial, right? Having someone like Erika Ishii, who is an extremely vocal LGBTQ plus activist, somebody who has had some very hot political takes in the past, and somebody who says you're a bigot if you don't agree with them, was already bad enough press, on top of the fact that gamers in general, who don't even particularly care about politics, were upset with the fact that they replaced Jin Sakai in order to push a female into the lead role. And now, well, at least one of the developers, one of the senior developers, was celebrating this happening, and they doubled down on it. They really thought that they could get away with it, that like, oh, haha, there's lots of people that work at this company who have the same opinion, I'm not gonna get in trouble, and womp womp womp, if it isn't the consequences of your own actions. So, Drew here says that this was their personal account and views are theirs, which I was talking about just a few minutes ago. Just because you say that the views are your own doesn't mean that they still don't represent the product you're working on or the company, because it does. Like, just because you say it doesn't actually mean it doesn't. I don't know when these people are going to learn this, but it says senior staff character texture and look dev, an annoying extrovert. Yeah, you really are fucking annoying. At Sucker Punch, and their pronouns are she, her. So he decided to post over on Blue Sky, go figure. I hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro got his back. They're trying to be funny, which, first of all, they're not even fucking funny. And second of all, you're seriously sitting here and you expected people to, like, praise you and give you validation, because ultimately these people post on social media for validation, and that's kind of with basically anybody that posts on social media, even content creators, right? I have an opinion, and sure, like, I get validation for my opinion if you guys like the stream or whatever. But there's people like this that only make posts like that because they think that that they're in the majority, right? That they're going to blow up on social media and they're going to get so many likes and they're going to get so many hits and they're going to gain this big old following and people are going to praise them, you do realize that you just lost your job for 18 likes. That's more funny than your half-ass attempt at a fucking joke. They also reposted, he died doing what he loved, being a transphobic, racist bigot. Now, we, have to talk about this basically all the fucking time, but these words have no meaning anymore. If you disagree with someone and then you just go around calling them an Istinophobe, it has no meaning. It's like the word Nazi. That used to be an extremely intense word. It used to have such meaning behind it. Now it's like, oh, I don't like the shirt you're wearing on X, I'm gonna call you a Nazi. It's terrible. But this is the type of person that Sony and Sucker Punch have at their company. And you know for a fact, based on the people that they've hired and just this one person posting, that there's so many more people at this company who have the same opinion. Because most of these AAA companies, there's a certain company culture, and if you're not going to fit in with that company culture, you're typically not going to get hired. Now, there's going to be people out there who say, oh my gosh, people shouldn't be losing their jobs over social media posts. We are talking about somebody sitting here actively celebrating a death that happened yesterday. We're talking about the internet, right? There's always bound to be somebody who makes a joke about something that happened 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. I mean, in my streams, I make, get down, Mr. President jokes, right? That's bound to happen, but we're talking about something that happened eons ago, right? We're not talking about somebody being assassinated right now that happened yesterday based on his opinions. Like, do you not see the difference between that? That's way different. Like, sure, there are people online who make edgy jokes. And they can make them, right? Drew here can make all the edgy jokes they want. But now they're starting to realize the consequences of their actions. And when you make posts like this, right, you're not going to get much sympathy from anybody. Even for the people that agree with you, right? They're not going to come out and praise you. It reminds me of, like, Alyssa Mercante last year. Or, I guess technically it might have been, like, the beginning of this year. When she started, like, going through troubles with her job. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I'm working at a restaurant now. Like, poor me, poor me. I tried to speak out in the industry. And I lost my job over it because, like, I was too vocal. And people don't like my opinion. When you say that you want to beat people up and you threaten them with physical violence, they're not going to run to your aid if you get fired because you said something the company you worked for didn't like. And also, you say these things and do these things, like she was sitting on the casting couch saying those things because she thought that she was going to get praised for it. She thought that everybody in the access media and in the mainstream industry was going to sit there and praise her for it, and it didn't work out. And then she complains about the consequences of her own actions. Like, you took a chance, sister, and it didn't work out for you. You took a chance. You said something. You threatened people with physical violence. And because you didn't get the validation you wanted, you're freaking out about it, saying it's unfair. When it wasn't unfair. Nobody forced you to sit on that couch, right, and make those jokes. No, nobody did. Like, nobody forced Drew here, this guy, to sit here and make these jokes, or lame attempts at jokes, and repost these different posts. Nope, nobody was forcing you to do that. Now, this is one of the stories that actually has a pretty big update, because apparently this individual has seemingly gotten fired. Now, at this point in time, Sony and Sucker Punch and nobody else on the development team, from what I know at this point in time, have made a statement on this. It's not like Sony has apologized, Sucker Punch hasn't apologized. We haven't technically gotten confirmation that this person was fired, but their bio was changed. Their posts, some of them were deleted. They made a follow-up post. It says now, Drew personal account, views are mine, and still got the, you know, the pronoun. So there's a significant amount of content that was removed, and they changed their name to Drew Punching Nazis Till I Die. And their top comment says, if standing up against fascism is what cost me my dream job I held for 10 years, I would do it again, 100 times stronger. You didn't stand up against anything. You do realize that, right? There are ways for you to voice how strongly you feel about a certain topic. It is perfectly fine if you disagreed with every single thing that Charlie Kirk stands for. That would be perfectly fine. But that's not what you did. You said you're a transphobic, racist bigot, and a Nazi. You made jokes. These are not ways to criticize somebody's stance. Now, it all boils down to your personal opinion on if you think, well, tomorrow I could, you know, start criticizing the stances that he had. Some people are going to think it's tasteless. Some people aren't. But at the end of the day, you weren't criticizing or standing up against anything. That's not what you were doing. You were sitting here making jokes. So there's no official confirmation, but they did say that is what cost me my dream job they held for 10 years, which, by the way, I don't know what they had previously worked on, but does that mean they worked on Ghost of Tsushima? Or they've just worked at Sony in general? I don't know. I couldn't find anything quickly about like really them. Like, I haven't had a lot of time to go through all these like accounts, like personal pages, and look up certain like keywords and buzzwords, because again, as you can see, there's like a million different fucking tabs, but I would assume that means they worked on Tsushima, or at least something at Sony. And then they, you know, basically quadruple down and say, you know, I would do it again 100 times stronger. And it's so ironic because they say that they're, you know, standing up to fascism, but they're not standing up like against anyone or anything. They're like throwing fits on social media. Like, they say that they are against the people that they actually are. Like, what do you think that you're accomplishing here? Ghost of the unemployment line. The true ghosts in this situation were their fucking careers. It's true. You can't help but fucking laugh at these people. You really can't. You can't help but fucking laugh at them because they're getting what they deserve. They are the fascists. They've turned into the very people they claim to be fighting against. Cabal, thank you for the 10. I used to roll my eyes and go buy a game as long as it's good. Now I just can't roll my eyes and carry on anymore. I'm not going to pay their bills when they act this way, even if they make a good game. See, I've always, you know, tried to promote the mentality, I guess, of separating the art from the artist. That's a stance that I've always had, as you guys have, you know, seen on my channel. I always say that even if someone I completely disagree with in every way, shape, and form politically makes a game or a book or product, you know, if it still looks good, I will support it, but it has become near impossible, extremely difficult to separate the art from the artist at this point when the artist wants you dead. Like, it's different if they just said, I'm a feminist and I'm standing up for females, right? But it's different when they sit here and mock and actively wish for people's deaths. Thank you so much for that. Chris, thank you for the dono. Vera, if they will kill a man yesterday for speaking, what are they willing to do to us if we stay silent? Yeah, and I know that, you know, there's been a big conversation about the video of it happening, and there are some people out there who think that, you know, it should be completely removed off of social media, but that's ultimately these people winning, right? Because it would be hiding the truth of their actions and their intentions. And, you know, as disturbing as it is, it can't be hidden. And we need to call these people out. It's consequences of their actions. Zero, thank you for the 5. With all of these with all of this consequence culture hitting game devs, do you think that this is a possible turning point for these people in the entertainment industry? No. I think they're just going, well, I guess technically yes. It's just them becoming more silent. I don't think that these people are going to go away. I don't think they're going to disappear from the games industry or entertainment industry. I think they're just going to get much better at shutting the fuck up. Which I guess is technically good, right? But at the same time, it's bad. Because these people are still going to have these jobs and these positions and these opportunities. It's good that they're not going to be dividing people, but they're still going to be profiting. So, like, I guess in a way you could view it as good, but it's still ultimately bad. But you never know. I just don't expect the industry to change. And maybe that's just me being very, very negative, a negative Nancy. But at the same time, you know, nothing has changed the mentality yet and the types of hiring processes that are in place yet. It's like, maybe. I don't necessarily know, though. Poncho, thank you for the 2. She still needs a prostate exam. Thank you for the 2. I don't know if it's actually a she, but when you specify your pronouns, I'm going to call you the opposite. I think that's only fair at this point, especially when you act like this. Like, if you're a normal fucking human being otherwise, and you just have your stupid pronouns in your bio because, like, I don't know, your company asks you to, but you don't actually care, and you act normal, okay, whatever. But if you're going to go on about people being transphobic, bigot, racists, and punching NZs and calling people fascists when you're the fascist, I'm going to call you the opposite. I don't know what the fuck you expect from me. You want me to show you respect, but you don't show anybody else respect. You know, if you're going to show me a decent level of respect, I'll respect you. Because that's what normal fucking civilized human beings do to each other. But this person clearly isn't. So fuck this guy. Drew, thank you for the $4.99. Not me. Rip Charlie Kirk. Rip. It's tough. It's tough to know everything that has happened. And then also know that these people will then go and they'll laugh at it. They'll make these comments and they'll think that they can get away with it. Because they feel that they are so fucking protected. They really, really do. And that makes it worse. Significantly worse. Also, hello, Wicked. I don't see Wicked's chat. What? Oh, there it is. Hi. Hi, Wicked. I was like, where is she? I can't see her. How do you guys see her? Hollywood guy, thank you for the 5. Vera, that woman that works for the DC Comics got fired and her Red Hood comic got canceled. Yeah, we'll talk about that again in a second, but wow. I'm genuinely fucking stunned that so many of these people are actually getting fired. Like, I think that because we've seen this I don't know, mentality be pushed so often by so many people. We were all, like, yesterday when this was starting to pop up, expecting, nothing's gonna happen. These people are probably just gonna go radio silent on social media for a couple of days or weeks. But the fact that these companies are actually, you know, firing these people is good. They haven't made statements, though, which I think is not the best. Like, it's not, it's like, we're sorry we got caught, so we'll try to sweep this under the rug. It's just, it's not acceptable when one of your employees has gone that far. Like, I think that Sucker Punch and Sony and DC, they actually need to make a statement now before it gets worse, because again, there's still other people at these companies who share the same mentality. And if they put out a statement, then, like, I don't know, it sends more of like a warning to the other people that work at the company. I don't know. I mean, I don't expect companies to do their best. So that's the problem we run into with this discussion, is I don't expect them to ever fucking do anything decent. Chris, thank you for the 2. You're forgiven for skipping my super chat earlier. Earlier. I read it wrong. Sorry. How about that? How about that? I didn't skip it. I read it. Drew, thank you for the 2. Ghost of Blue Sky. I have to say, I'm happy Blue Sky exists because it can keep every lunatic in their bubble. You know, you don't go to Blue Sky for normal takes. You go to Blue Sky to laugh and call these fucking people out. So, I guess I'm grateful for Blue Sky. Even though they all are still on X. They say, oh my gosh, X is so terrible because of Elon Musk and it's so toxic and bad. They're still on it. Don't fucking lie. But thank you for the 2. Lamar, thank you for the 2. I see Chibi Reviews is always on the right side. Yeah, very vocal. Very vocal guy. And that's good. You know, the more people that are vocal, the better. Amra, thank you for the dono. Uh-oh, Australian. You better be careful. Collective Shout might use this against you. You're here? You better be careful. If they can't virtue signal on the platform, will they still want to work there? I don't think that most of these people apply for these jobs and try to work at these companies because they view it as a bigger platform to virtue signal. I think that that's basically just an addition for them. I do think that in journalism, right, it's a little different, because I think that journalism, most of these sites, you don't need a degree. And you could just get hired because you've written a few decent fan fictions. In game development, depending on the position, like, you might have had to gone to school for several years for development and to learn certain, you know, techniques and different programs. So, like, I think developers, it's a little bit harder to say that they only join the gaming industry to try to make money, where it's easier with journalists. But at the same time, I do think that there probably are plenty of people out there who just join these companies, yeah, because they thought that they were going to be able to gain a lot of influence. So they literally have no skills. Some of them have skills, I guess, technically. I guess. But the thing is they just don't have a high level of skill. Like, maybe they went to school for a year and then they got hired, but, like, that's why we hire juniors, right? We gotta hire 1,000 fucking juniors instead of 50 vets. It's so stupid. I could get a job in journalism. It's not rocket science. Are you sure? Yeah, no. I mean, even Alyssa Mercante, right? She technically doesn't have a journalism degree. Look at all the sites she's worked for. And we know how she got those jobs. She's admitted it herself, you know? I respect it. I mean, I respect her being honest. I mean, I don't respect the way that she got the job. I respect her being honest, you know? Alyssa. Which, by the way, Alyssa has been laughing at the fact that Asmongold's dad has cancer. Not that I thought that there was really a fucking bar of human decency that she was really at. I mean, she's in the fucking gutter on that one. But can't say I'm fucking shocked there. But also about the Yote situation. There are also a slew of game devs liking the post. Just to make it work. Oh, another senior producer at Sucker Punch. She. So this guy is the senior producer, and they've of course got the rainbow flag in their bio. Another senior producer. Okay, you fired one. What about the fucking rest? You know, this is exactly what I was just talking about. Just because you fire one doesn't mean it sends a message at the company. They have to put out a public fucking statement and say, we do not condone this. If you make statements like this, you're fired. But they don't. But they haven't. I haven't looked through all of these social media accounts. The coalition. What did the coalition make? Gears, right? Yeah, Gears. I'm not fucking insane. They're fucking Microsoft. It's just Xbox Game Studio. Yep. It's Microsoft. Pretty fucking bad. I don't know who these other people work for or anything, or if they're even in the industry. But either way, still not good. Queer, indie, gamer, socialist. The SFX associate producer at Bungie. Fuck Bungie. He, him. This chick is so fucking stupid. She is an ass. And, you know, this is why people don't like Bungie. Reason 835,752. Probably somebody that is working on Marathon, a game that was not going to make money. Or they're working on Destiny 2, meaning they're going to be out of a job in the next couple of months because Destiny's fucking dead. So, yeah. Guys, I don't know if I'm just not hip with the kids, but I swear to fucking God, can you tell me what literally anything in this person's description means? Monogamous demisexual lesbian. What the fuck do you mean, brother? What does that even mean? I feel like reading this shit is making me actually lose brain cells. What does that mean? And here's a producer at MTG Arena. Wizards of the Coast is one of the worst companies I have ever had the displeasure of supporting. Wizards of the Coast will never get my money again. Wizards of the Coast fucking sucks. And these are the types of people that they employ. Like Sam Maggs. Oh, it was graped in GTA. Let's ban GTA because something bad happened to me in the game. But they were also previously working at Sucker Punch, meaning I would assume that they either worked on Yote early on or they worked on Tsushima. I thought Tsushima was a really good game. I was initially pretty excited for Yote. I mean, you can even see during the, what was it, a state of play when they revealed Yote, and even my videos from around then, I said a female character isn't a killer for a game for me. So sure, I'm sad Jin Sakai is gone, and I think it's a stupid decision, but maybe this game will still come out and be half decent. But as time has gone on, it's just gotten progressively worse and worse, to the point where now, I do not want to play this game. I don't fucking care I don't want to play it. And there's very few times where I will not play a game. And I think it's good that this person, this Drew person, that they got rid of them. But this is still the type of person you're supporting. These are people who are liking these posts and saying they're good opinions and they're okay opinions to have. That's not okay. That's not okay. But it's the mentality that some of these fucking people have. And that's shit. That's shit. It's shit. It's shit. It's not okay. Yeah. That's how it goes. Am I shocked? No. It's like every single tab that I was opening here, there was not a moment where I said to myself, wow, I am so surprised. I was not shocked at all whatsoever. And I never will be. Just go on Blue Sky to do the deep dive research. Yeah. If you're ever looking to see what somebody said, or you want to know somebody's opinion, and they're a fucking lunatic lefty, just go to Blue Sky. Because that's what they do. This is the type of place that they go to. We've got Kotaku's founder mocking the death just hours after the shooting. At this point, I don't think that it had been confirmed that he had passed away yet. 6 o'clock. I think that was right around the time. Because it was a couple hours later. So I think that was right around the time. Either way, it doesn't matter the timing. It's still not good. Imagine being upset that the architect of the insurrection attempt, an active COVID and election denier and climate change denier getting shot. Who knows how many deaths can be attributed to this dude? 0. The answer is fucking 0. Why would you say that? Do you have any sort of proof or evidence that he killed somebody? No. Shut up. Oof, Charlie Kirk's boys should have used the same team that faked Trump's shooting. This is what happens when you try to save money on your false flag operations. It is mind-fucking-blowing that these people will say anybody that is not on the left who they're conspiracy theorists, they're pushing dangerous rhetoric, and they're pushing dangerous propaganda, yet then they go on social media and do this. They say that conservatives and libertarians are all so dangerous, but they see no problem with this type of statement? Fucking yikes. Now, I don't think that we're particularly shocked, given this is someone that was part of the Access Media for so long, but he was the founder of Kotaku, a co-founder of Polygon, a variety video game editor, and he ran video game coverage at Rolling Stone, so now we know how Alyssa Mercante got her job at Rolling Stone. Brian, have you seen Alyssa's posts on how she got into this industry? Do you have first-hand knowledge about how she got into this industry? Do you want to admit something to the class? Jesus. It's never shocking that these pieces of shit are pieces of shit. You know? And we also found out about DC's Red Hood writer getting fired and their series being canceled. Now, I think that this was like the first, I would say like the first situation that popped up yesterday, or like the initial like post that started circulating about people in the gaming industry and like entertainment scene praising this event. But DC Comics has now canceled its brand new Red Hood series, following a firestorm of outrage against writer Gretchen Felker Martin, a biological male who identifies as a female. The cancellation came after they publicly mocked Charlie Kirk for being shot to death and made inflammatory remarks about law enforcement. Gee whiz, who would have fucking thunk it? Chat, who would have thunk it? This person being a fucking unhinged maniac? What? Oh my gosh. I am absolutely floored. Absolutely floored by this news. Wow. This person's unhinged? Who would have fucking thunk it? Thoughts and prayers, you NZ bitch. Hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. Do these people genuinely, do they truly believe that this is going to gain them any sort of respect? By the way, their username is scum. At least they know what they are. Kept seeing people TW Red Hood #1 for suicide. Oh, trigger warning for suicide. And for the life of me, I could not figure out why until I remembered it opens with a bunch of cops shooting themselves. I just don't really consider them people. Wow. Yeah. You are truly the lowest fucking common denominator, huh? You really are. And again, somebody is learning the consequences of their actions because yeah, guys. Yeah, that's definitely a normal, sane human being, huh? We're gonna scroll on. The backlash was immediate. Critics condemned them for mocking a shooting victim and dehumanizing law enforcement officers. Supporters of Charlie Kirk pointed to the remarks as evidence of hostility towards conservatives within parts of the entertainment industry. So, yeah, it seems that this person fucking lost because now DC has not only seemingly fired this person. I guess we don't technically have confirmation that they were fired, so like maybe they technically weren't. But if they felt the need to cancel this series straight up, yeah, sounds to me like they were fired. Which, I'm not gonna shed a tear for you. That's certainly not going to fucking happen. That's for sure. When you're making posts like this on social media, and you're spreading such vile opinions. Again, these people can have these opinions, but they deserve, at the end of the day, what's coming to them. And in this case, it's the fucking unemployment line. God. God damn. Whew. Yikes. This is torture. Stop showing it. This? Why? What's wrong with this person? They're stunning and brave. Absolutely fucking wild. Chris, thank you for the 2. The left's entire foundation is based on hypocrisy. Oh, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. These people do not have any sort of consistent bone in their fucking bodies. And like I said yesterday when I was on stream with Wicked Virtue, as I said today in my video, you can't claim to seek to want an end to gun violence and simultaneously celebrate it. And that's what these people claim to want, yet they're sitting here saying it's good. Wild Dog, thank you for the 2. Out of the way, Behemoth. Al Bundy. Thank you for the 2. Hollywood Guy, thank you for the 5. That is the person I was talking about. Yeah. This DC writer. I haven't seen anything else in terms of, like, writers making any statements. But, again, I'm sure that there's so many different examples. And just only a couple of them right now are being highlighted. Addis, thank you so much for the 10. We're gonna need some eye bleach. We're gonna need a lot after looking at this for a while. And hey, usually, you guys know, haha, I might giggle, but usually I don't call somebody a fucking fat tub of absolute lard. A genuine pile of fucking shit. But, again, if you're gonna wish for people to be dead, you really don't deserve any general respect. Clint, thank you for the 5. I've gone from the kid watching Super Friends wearing a homemade Superman cape to someone who would never touch DC again. Thanks, Gretchen. I don't know what else they've worked on. I don't know if this is their first, like, foray into comics, but they just look like a modern DC writer. You could tell me that they worked at any of these major companies, and I'd believe you. I'd say, yep, that's a fucking activist if I've ever seen one. So Jabba the Hutt got fired. Oh no. How could this happen? Anyway, MSNBC also fired an analyst over the remarks that he made. Yesterday, during Wicked Virtue stream, I was very vocal about how, of course, disgusting these comments are, and the fact that MSNBC is a pile of fucking slop at this point, and if you go to MSNBC for your news, you're a degenerate, terrible person, and you're being fed propaganda, and you should actually wake up and stop being a sheep. But, again, consequences are happening, because MSNBC has now fired its senior political analyst, Matthew Dowd, after he suggested on air that the slain conservative activists' own radical rhetoric may have contributed to the shooting. You can't stop with these sorts of awful, hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. You can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and then not expect awful actions to take place. Yeah, pretty fucking bad. They said, we apologize for his statements. There is no place for violence in America, political or otherwise. So, he didn't even apologize. He refused, I guess, to apologize, and they had to apologize after they fired him. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. I've read 7 The Guardian articles this year. Holy shit. I've read 7. It's almost 1 a month. What is this world coming to? Of course, the network almost immediately severed ties with him, with Deadline reporting that MSNBC had cut its relationship with the analyst. Yeah, and that was the right thing to do. It's like how yesterday we saw... I don't think I have the tab open, actually. I don't have the tab open anymore, but we saw... I think it was also on MSNBC, them basically saying that they believe that this could have been a conservative shooting their gun up in the air in celebration. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why the hell would you even say that? Why is that where your mind would have gone? Hold on 2 seconds. Oh, wow! Who could have fucking thunk it? Nathan Grayson, of course, Aftermath, Washington Post, Kotaku, XYZ, saying, rest in piss. You don't hate these people enough. You genuinely don't. Of course. Aftermath posted, okay, but you do know you're eulogizing Charlie Kirk, right? It's highly inappropriate for a gaming news outlet to adopt a political stance, let alone celebrate the death of an individual. It's like doing the stream and doing the 2 videos I've done. I think it's important to cover it because he was somebody who stood for free speech. He was a fellow YouTuber and social media influencer and political commentator, right? And it's so important to cover this shit. And I do talk about topics that, yeah, I mean, do have to do with politics, right? Like DEI initiatives in this industry. And I do talk about activism. I do talk about these activists. I talk about Collective Shout. So I get if they wanted to make a brief statement because of how influential he was and about this type of situation. But to go and then ultimately adopt this political stance, or not just adopt a political stance, but to celebrate it is another thing. Because again, as a human being, right, I understand that other human beings would want to say condolences, even if you're not on the same political side or you don't have the same political opinions. It's like if tomorrow, right, Greta Thunberg was killed, I would say condolences to her family. Because even though I don't fucking agree with her, she's a human being. It's just the way that it goes. Sometimes human beings are actually half-decent people. And then you have fucks like Nathan Grayson who are like, yeah, rest in piss. That's terrible. That's fucking terrible. Vera talks. First I've heard of this. I know. I've never really spoken very much. Damn. Nathan fucking Grayson. Oh, that's another one. Damn. There's so many tabs here still. Kirk's death, like much of his life, took place on a stage. When you are a journalist or a commentator or social media influencer, and really just anyone who is a political figure, right? Sure. A part of your life does technically revolve around the stage. But that to be your opener, and truly, what you're boiling this down to is wild. Despite the artificiality of such a setting, that makes him more real to some Americans and clearly to those eulogizing him. More real than the Democratic lawmaker and her husband who were killed just a few months ago. More real than the 11 people killed last week by the US government in what was almost certainly an illegal strike on a boat in the Caribbean. More real than the tens of thousands, or more likely hundreds of thousands of Palestinian civilians. All of these deaths are bad. Death is bad. Killing people is bad. It's not really that fucking hard to see. Killing people bad. I know. It's crazy. And sure, there are people out there who are not going to make statements on every single fucking thing that happens, but he just gave us multiple examples of things that are wildly different. Wildly different. You've got war in there. A place that is in the middle of a war. You've got a strike on a boat. You've got innocent people and children being killed because of gun violence, and you've got a politician. Very different. Each single one of them. And then, of course, the Charlie Kirk situation is a commentator being assassinated based off of his opinions. None of them are good. None of them are okay. But you can't sit here and tell people what they can and cannot be upset about. Kirk's violent rhetoric helped shape this world. It helped shape the world? How fucking old was he? And yet, it has been deemed civil by those on both sides of the political divide. This is the mark of a sick society. One that is perfectly fine with an unconscionable body count as long as none of the disfigured, barely recognizable faces are ones we know from a screen. Ah, geez, here we go. He's starting to fucking wax poetic over here. Again, networks made the deliberate choice to shy away from engaging with the substance of his debates. They were almost certainly aware, at least on some level, of the kind of things he regularly said, but that didn't matter. They had to put on a show. The show, after all, is what keeps the meat grinder that is America moving, and it must at all costs go on. Is he in the United States? Does he live in the United States? New York City? Leave. If you don't like America, leave. If America's so bad, leave. If you hate it so much here, go somewhere else. Go to Canada. Go to Europe. Go to the Middle East, Nathan Grayson. See how much luck you have there. See how bad America is then. Have fun. Leave. If America is so bad, you don't have to be in it. It's really just that fucking simple. No one is forcing you to stay here. There are other places for you to go. Holy shit. He hasn't hit any responses yet. I guess probably because he's only got 9 comments. He's got 17k followers. He should be able to get more than that. I mean, I could put up a post and I could get fucking 9 comments in probably 30 seconds. Not trying to toot my own horn here, but... A+ commentary. Who's this person? This guy has 356 followers. Never heard of this guy in my life. Not a man? You seem like a man to me. 28 she, her, bisexual. This guy has me blocked. I don't know what I ever did to this guy, but I guess they don't like me. I guess this guy doesn't like me. Do I even dare click on their fucking YouTube channel? Uh-oh. What is this? Oh, it's... This person is literally living in fucking 2012 YouTube. Now, people can put up any content they want, right? It's your channel. You do what you want, bro. But this person, where'd my tab go? Okay, I got way too many tabs open. This person is uploading to their YouTube channel literal just like 10-minute clips of gameplay. You know, I mean, your content's just as bad as your fucking opinions, loser. Finally, some good fucking journalism. People put that they're on Blue Sky. Go to Blue Sky then! Go to Blue Sky! Leave! What job can we get you fired from, asshole? It's insane, but it is kind of true. And I bet if we go to Nathan Grayson's page, he's probably been posting about like how good this is. Oh wow. On today's stream, we're joined by Mike from PA. Who's this guy? No clue. Leftist former campaign staffer, proud Dem Socialists member, and a Twitch partner. Okay. And Denims. Oh my fucking god. My fucking head, bro. My fucking head with these people. This is one of the, I don't know, 8,000 chicks. One of the 8 million of them that did the whole, if you don't give me money, I'm ending my stream now. Largest female political streamer. Yep. Classic. Largest female political streamer. Guess it doesn't take much to be that these days, huh? She's definitely into politics, guys. She definitely cares about the political landscape. Politics is truly her passion. It's definitely not a fucking grift to get you to click on her OnlyFans link. It's not a grift though, guys. It's not. She's one of the people being sued by H3, by the way, so have fun with that. Let's continue. Let's continue. There's also this person. Oh, this person isn't part of the gaming industry, but they're saying that Gamergate is linked to it. These people are so fucking out of touch. Holy shit. Omega, thank you for the 2. You need to talk more. I'll try. Christian, thank you for the 5. Charlie's statements shouldn't even be controversial. They were just normal takes. They've just burnt the bridge of the left connecting to moderates. Yeah, I think that he definitely had a couple of opinions that were, like, I would say could be considered a little bit more controversial, but at the same time, he always voiced them very respectfully, and he always voiced them in a way that wasn't, I would say, antagonistic or hateful to any one individual, and so they shouldn't have been deemed like extremely controversial takes. But thank you for the 5. And Clint, thank you for the 2. They never moved to any socialist countries. Why? I know. And they should. You know what? I'll give them a couple $100 to leave. Leave America. Have fun. If you hate it here so much, go. Also, chat really quickly. If you're enjoying the stream, give it a like. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Nicole here. Let me move myself over here. Said, in 2014, Anita Sarkeesian canceled an event at Utah State after a credible assassination threat because the school's response was that Utah allows guns on college campuses. Now, maybe this is true. Maybe she did get a credible threat. I've never seen it. Maybe. But, you know, a credible threat these days is apparently going to the same arcade that somebody else went to weeks earlier and then taking a picture. And then that person says it's a credible threat because they're stalking me. Alyssa. People have warned about this kind of violence for years, but they weren't the people the powers that be wanted to protect. For anyone who may not remember. Anita Sarkeesian was one of the feminist journalists subjected to harassment and violence as part of Gamergate. And once again, I'm always struck by how often we see echoes of the way we treated Gamergate in today's politics. We basically just wanted people arrested. That's what she wants to say. They wanted people to be arrested and to go to jail and for their careers to be ruined because they wanted ethics in video game journalism. And sure, I'm sure there were a few bad apples out of the bunch. I'm sure there were a few people who pushed the limits and were really mean and were hurting Anita Sarkeesian's feelings. But last time I checked, Anita Sarkeesian is not a journalist. Am I missing something? I thought that she was a consultant now. After Feminist Frequency failed, she started doing consulting. Am I cuckoo or what? A journalist. One of the feminist journalists. Who are the others, huh? Who are the others? Besides Zoe Quinn and I guess half a point to... Well, yeah, I'll be generous and say half a point to Brianna Wu. Who else are the other feminists? You know? It's like collective shout. These people come into this industry because they think that they can fucking co-opt it and push their propaganda into it, and they know that by controlling entertainment, you get farther than writing at these fucking slop sites like MSNBC. I'm like, you know, I guess some people have been successful at MSNBC. Not many, but I guess a couple, right? They still get like 1 million views a week or whatever. Or 1 million views, I think it might have been a day, actually. Vera is the other feminist journalist, exactly. So stupid. It's always with the poor women, and not, why don't people like these women? I don't know. Maybe because they don't care about the industry. They want to ruin entertainment. Maybe it's because they're not actually gamers. Maybe it's because they fucking cry wolf all the time, and we see that same thing happening right now with, like, Collective Shout and all of these other women, like Melinda Tankard Rice and Caitlin Roper. I don't know. We've also got Drew, this person who worked on Yote. Had they previously posted on LinkedIn about how much they hate beautiful women being represented in video games. I'm shocked. Wow, I never could have imagined this would have been their stance. That's crazy. I find it interesting that when discussions around how games deal with sexualizing characters, it is almost always men discussing how women are depicted in games. This entire thread is men weighing in on how to reach a middle ground on how to make characters they find physically attractive. There is no balance because the industry is still heavily skewed by being cis-het male-dominated. Even your example shows the real-life woman fully clothed in a jumpsuit while the character is in her underwear showing her underboob. You've literally turned the person who looks and moves like a living person into a stylized Barbie in her underwear. The physical attractiveness of characters is such a moot point to creating good games. It's not, though. Because the way your character looks is going to be a sticking point of a teaser in a trailer. You are marketing your game based on your character. Without your character, you don't have a game. And so the way that a character looks is extremely important. And second of all, this isn't even a fucking conversation for them to be a part of. These guys weren't asking for her fucking opinion or her fucking feedback. They were talking amongst themselves. Michael says, yeah, this thread isn't for you. Stop policing. That's all these people do because they want power and they want control. They don't actually care about having a conversation. They don't actually care about bettering an industry. They care about power, and they care about control, and they care about influencing. They care about influencing your entertainment. They care about what you're seeing, and if it's depicted the way that they believe is correct. if they believe it's good or they believe it's okay. Nobody wants your opinion. Drew, senior look dev, and texture artist. Wow. So stunning and brave. Ah! Who could have imagined? Reposting Alyssa. Should have realized she was a piece of shit. Birds of a feather. Maybe instead of emailing people's employers, y'all should be emailing your reps and demand gun control immediately. You can't claim to want gun control if you're praising a situation and you're making jokes out of a situation that has to do... These people, it really fucking irks me that they never have a consistent stance. And I know we can't expect much from these retards, but it drives me fucking bonkers. Like, I get human beings are not always going to be the most consistent people, and everybody's bound to have moments, right, where their opinion changes, or ultimately they have a different stance now than they might have 5 years ago, whatever. But you're literally saying all this shit, like, on top of each other. No consistency at all. Ghost, thank you for the 10. Guys, of course, I appreciate all of your donations and all of your support. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you. All women can't be as perfect as you, silly. People don't know here to find strong, smart, and attractive women in games or journos that actually never thirst trap. And a real lady, here you are. Well, thank you for the 10. I don't think any of us expect anything good from journos, so... yeah, that's a... that's a problem. You can't fucking trust any of these people. But even when it comes down to, you know, like, content creators, people aren't consistent. I try to be consistent, but, you know, it's what it is. We're all humans. Can't be consistent 100% of the time. But my point is, like, even if they were consistent, I don't know, 90% of the time, these people are, even over the past 24 hours, they proved how fucking inconsistent they are. Vera's actually a VTuber. Exactly. Gavin, thank you for the 5. With billions of dollars on the line, Rockstar striking everyone, blowing the whistle on their VA's comments. Everyone clip and archive everything. There was something about, I think it was a Grand Theft Auto voice actor making a statement, actually. I don't think I have that pulled up. Thank you for the 5. I think that, yeah, there was like a Rockstar voice actor or something. But I don't have that. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. I see it on X. God damn, this face. Whew. This fucking face. Harambe Kojima. Thank you for the gifted membership. Much appreciated. Thank you for your support. Guys, I appreciate all the support. Grand Theft Auto voice actor Matthew Judge. Isn't he also, yeah, a YouTuber? He maligns Charlie Kirk as a racist hours after his assassination. Oh, it's Viper. Yeah. Every positive post about Charlie Kirk is either ignorance of who he was or support of who he was. And it's scary, I can tell which. Among endless things, he was a proponent of the Great Replacement theory, the racist idea that immigration is a plot to replace white people. Matt, I can't believe you. A guy in love with a Latina didn't like one of the most hate-filled bigots of all time. Are you crazy? He built his career on inspiring hate. I didn't say he deserved to die. I said it's morbidly ironic. He reaped what he sowed. Millions unjustly die every year. Sleeps. The most prominent racist of our age dies unjustly. This is a tragedy. A father, a human life. The guy helping get rid of the minorities. Wait, no, he was married. Anybody being assassinated for their opinions is bad. That's bad. That is not a good situation. Anybody dying is not good. Anybody who's killed, that's not good. He was a human being. He was a father. He was a husband. It's bad. It's just that fucking simple. Jesus. Well. Yeah. That's another one to add to the fucking list. There's so many. I also saw this, which I thought was fascinating, of course. A lot of content creators right now are talking about Ghost of Yotei and kind of deciding whether or not they want to personally play it and stream it. And there are some creators who are being very vocal about their thoughts, right? MBG had said a lot of people are responding to this saying I shouldn't get political or just stick to gaming. I understand, however, I was the one defending Ghost of Yotei from some of the hate it was, in my opinion, unfairly receiving, but I can't support SP if they're okay with this. And there's threads like this saying dead giveaway someone's never worked in a real org, thinking people should be punished for personal views. Imagine your boss telling you to shut the fuck up and not speak your mind off hours. What would you say? The difference is that you are saying it is good somebody died. You are saying you hope other people with similar opinions die. That's why so many people are calling out these individuals, like in the case of Drew, like in the case of this DC writer, right? They're not just saying, I don't like his opinions. They're saying some absolutely horrendous shit. It's fine if you didn't like his opinions. It's fine if you disagreed with his stances. But there is a difference in the way that you're voicing it. And now that somebody has decided they don't want to purchase it and support it, what do? You call them mental midgets. Uh-oh, I'm blocked. You can usually tell. I'm not blocked. Weird. Oh, they must have locked it down then. They must have locked it down. Because usually when it doesn't show a bio, but this guy is so bad at social media, it doesn't even have a bio. Many companies have social media policies and expect you to abide by it because what you reflect on your social media is a reflection of the company as a whole. Go ahead and tell me which one. Several prominent companies have established social media policies to guide employee conduct online. Adidas encourages employees to associate with the company in their posts, but requires clear disclaimers that their views are their personal and not representative of the company, while prohibiting the sharing of sensitive internal information like design plans or legal matters. Best Buy mandates that employees disclose their affiliation with the company in posts and prohibits the sharing of financial, operational, legal, or customer-related information, as well as any discriminatory content. HP allows employees to blog through a company-embedded platform, promoting honest discourse while reserving the right to edit or delete posts that are misleading or violate the code of conduct. Gap provides a conversational yet direct approach, advising employees to avoid controversial topics like politics and religion, prioritize their job responsibilities, and refrain from discussing confidential information or responding to negative customer posts. The LA Times requires its journalists to uphold principles of integrity. Sure. Professionalism and impartiality, emphasizing the verification of content before posting and clearly defining their affiliation with the publication. IBM fosters a culture of trust and expression, encouraging employees to share ideas and participate in social media while aligning their actions with the company's broader conduct guidelines and values. Other companies with documented policies include Coca-Cola, Dell, Ford, General Motors, Intel, JB Morgan Chase, Pfizer, routers, the state of Utah, Air Force. We're talking about so many companies here. How many more do you want on this list? You know, Coca-Cola, Dell, Ford, Journos, Intel, JP Morgan, Pfizer, Reuters, State of Utah, U.S. Air Force, Walmart, the Mayo Clinic. How many companies do you want as an example? He said one. It's more than one. That's for sure. And these are just a few. Every single company has this. Hold on. Where's this post? Where's this post? Where the fuck is this post? Oh. I'll quote it. You know what? Fuck it. It's not that hard, Buster. It's not that fucking hard. Jeff Grubb is also, of course, being a generally terrible person. Who would have fucking thunk it? The hard times. Anti-vaxxer finally gets shot. Wow, guys, that is so funny. Wow, that is truly the most hilarious thing I've ever heard in my life. Gavin, thank you for the 5. Conspiracy. Well, how many Americans are born every year? Now, how many immigrants are permitted each year? Now, look at the census. No. It's a little bit sus. Montesquieu, thank you for the 11 euros. Just for good measure, the Great Replacement is a United Nations agenda. It's publicly accessible. You can read it. So not a theory, not a conspiracy. Stop pointing out the fucking facts, bro. Your rhetoric is dangerous. You are a terrible person. You're a racist. You're a sexist. You're a bigot. You're Nazi. What else can I throw at you? You know? Stop pointing out the truth. Bigot. Yeah, don't tell them all that information. It's gonna be in one ear, out the other. They're just conspiracy theorists. Okay. I'll give myself shit. Thanks. So these people are so stupid. They really, really are. Yeah, it's not a conspiracy. It's not, you know, it's publicly accessible, but they don't even know how to fucking use Google. They don't even know how to fucking use Google. Okay, genuinely though, how do you not know that companies have social media policies? Genuinely. To the point where you have to ask. You say, go ahead and tell me which one. Like, genuinely. How do you not know? Has this guy not been to fucking work since the 1990s? Like, every single company has these policies in place. Every single one of them. Anyone with half a fucking brain knows that. But Jeff Grubb, of course, is over here joking around, ha ha, hee hee. By the way, another person that I thought left X to go to Blue Sky. I guess, again, these people don't really have fucking morals, so they just kind of do what they want one day and then forget about it the next. But, Druid also said, I have been told that the Twitter has noticed me from across the room. Ooh, woo. Yeah, guys, because they're so funny. They're so cute. They're so hilarious. They're so silly. You also have Alyssa, who this person was reposting, saying, a prominent right-wing streamer published a very dangerous YouTube video about the Kirk assassination yesterday. In it, he suggests political violence is 90% from the left and that the right will no longer bring a knife to a gunfight. People, first of all, are going to defend themselves. And second of all, 90% of the violence, I would assume, I don't have a statistic, 90% of all of these mass shootings and assassinations, whether successful or attempts, are not from conservatives. They're from the fucking lunatic lefties. And I'm not saying all of them are. But seriously, even if we said it was 50-50, just for fucking argument's sake, right? You know for a fact I'm not going for argument's sake. You know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go for argument's sake. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not even gonna give Alyssa any sort of room. Because you know that regardless, even if it was 50% you know for a fact that they would still be pushing the rhetoric that the right is still more dangerous. They still would be. They would still be pushing the same fucking rhetoric. Just fucking stupid. I mean, I'm honestly shocked that she even used the word assassination, to be fair. Like, I've seen some of these people saying, you know, just shooting instead. Now, call it like it fucking is. I still think this is funny. If standing up against fascism was what cost me my dream job I held for 10 years, I would do it again 100 times stronger. Yeah, well, to be fair, I don't think that you're going to be hired at any of these companies anytime soon. The mind virus has set in. Oh, absolutely. And some of these people don't even believe the shit that they're spewing, too. They just are saying it for fucking social media clout and social media points. But also, another thing with Alyssa is, of course, she's saying a prominent right-wing streamer. She's talking about Asmongold. She's been targeting Asmongold for weeks. She was begging for people to give her dirt on him and to leak information to her about him because she wants him basically canceled. She wants him removed from the internet because she doesn't fucking like him. Oh, it's fine when Hassan goes on Twitch and talks about shit that she agrees with when it's her stance, but when it's not her stance, and when it's Asmongold, well, then politics have no place on these platforms. She had previously said Asmongold and Tectone taking indefinite breaks from streaming. Zach Asmongold is taking a break to care for his father who has cancer. Tectone cited his mental health. The streamer's breaks come just a couple of weeks after Twitch cracked down on viewbotting, which appeared to affect both of their viewer counts. I bet if Alyssa started streaming right now, she'd have 5 fucking viewers instead of the 40 she usually has. Prove me wrong. Of course, she is using their full names. They are public names, right? It's not like they're hidden or anything, but she's trying to use their names. But also, you're seriously sitting here and you have no shame for calling out somebody for not streaming when their dad has cancer? Whew. But she was talking about his video. Yeah, saying it's dangerous rhetoric, right? Because he's got an opinion. I know that Mark Kern had made some posts on this, saying the left doesn't understand what has happened and is still trying to run the old playbook where they get to dox, slander, cancel, swat, and more and expect the right to just sit there and take it. Now the feeling of the right is if you get to do it and ruin people's lives for 10 years and we just hold back and it leads to this anyway, that we don't care anymore, we will do it back to you. I see many accounts and friends who have for years argued for moderation and holding the high ground simply not care anymore. None will stand in the way of what is about to happen. A surprising number have had enough and are now all in. Now, of course, I don't want harm to come to anybody, for sure, because I'm a normal fucking human being. But also, if these people are going to lose their jobs based on their extremely controversial opinions, I'm not going to sit here and advocate for them. I'm not going to sit here and shed a tear for them. I'm not going to sit here and support them. And that's just what's going to fucking happen. You know, you are sitting here basically memeing and laughing at somebody taking a break because their dad has cancer. And then you say, well, they were also being view-botted. And then you're going on about how it's dangerous rhetoric. Hassan's rhetoric is also damaging. It is also dangerous. It is also harmful. It doesn't matter who it is. On both sides, there are going to be extremists. On both sides, there's going to be dangerous rhetoric. When the fuck are you going to call Hassan out? You're not, because you want to suck his dick. You know? That's ridiculous. If you're going to call one out, you gotta call both out. But you don't, because you're biased. This is also the same woman who previously had said, I'm looking to chat with people who have been disparagingly featured in Asmongold's content. I would like to see how this affected you, especially if you can provide ample receipts and clear timelines. Please signal boost this anywhere you'd like, as I'm not on Twitter anymore. She says as she came back to Twitter. This can be anon, though in some cases that may be difficult. Of course. She cries about being harassed online, and then she starts harassing others and starts planning hit pieces. It's okay when she does it, but it's not okay when other people do it. Luxaturn, thank you for the dono. Even companies that don't have explicit social media policies still do have employee conduct policies that cover behavior and speech out of office. Yep, they do. And you have to be blind to not know that. You have to be living under a rock to not know that, because that's been the case for years at this point. It's ridiculous. Hassan actually calls for violence. This is not a both sides thing. Yeah, he does. He does. Does she go after him? Does she criticize him? Of course not, because she agrees. And she thinks that it's okay because it's people I politically agree with. And I think that that's terrible. I don't think that that's okay. But she does. Rate proposed community note. Is this tweet supposed to be harassment? I didn't know Asma needed a white knight to protect him. Alyssa asking to talk to people that got raped by Asma. You know, these people are genuinely some of the most retarded fucking people on the internet. If you put up a video on social media or a post on social media and Asmongold reacts to it, it's fair use. If you don't want people to criticize your opinions, do not put your opinions on social media. And then to go and use words like raped is fucking wild. That is wild. Taking anonymous testimonies and rallying people to write a hit piece is exactly what she'd call harassment if it were done to her. I get that you want to defend her because you hate anyone against her, but come on, don't be contrarian just to be contrarian. Yeah, if I said right now, guys, I'm looking to chat with people who have been disparagingly featured and feel offended by Alyssa Mercante. I'd like to see how she affected you. You know, I know that she threatened people with physical violence last year. If you personally felt victimized by that, let me know. And then I put out a video of fucking 8 hours of tweets. She'd call that harassment. She'd literally call that fucking harassment. Again, rules for thee, but not for me. It's fine when she does. It's fine when she wants to write an article. It's fine when she wants to be the one creating a hit piece. But it's not okay when other people do it. It's not okay. That's mean. These people give me a fucking headache. They really do. No consistency at all whatsoever. So, yeah. I mean, I think that's the majority of the different examples that I had, guys. I know, insane. Only 2 hours of talking. I know, crazy. Only 2 hours of talking how these people are fucking degenerates. Oh! One good post, I guess. One decent post, I guess. Mark Hamill saying it's horrible, sickening, and unacceptable. In a democracy, we settle our differences with words, ideas, and actions, not hatred, guns, and violence. Shame on us. Wow. Mark Hamill actually saying something half decent for once. His new movie did come out today, or it comes out tomorrow, so we know why. He needs that good press, so maybe we'll go buy tickets to his new movie. Hey, I guess that's something. I guess that's not bad. And of course, his comments are, nah, this is the only thing that stops fascists. Lost Ark stops them too. These people, again, have cultivated this audience for themselves. And now people are going to turn on Mark Hamill. And he's going to deserve it, because this is the audience that he's wanted for years. This is the audience that he's got. You got something like this. I do not see a thing. Republicans against Trump. I mean, he is somebody who is extremely vocal politically. And just because he's got one good take now doesn't mean he hasn't had 500 other bad takes. So, it's still good, I guess. But it's still Mark Hamill. Oh yeah, we also have this thread, which we're probably not really gonna go through too much, but Ash Parrish, former Kotaku inflammatory POS who hits gamers, Zach, a current Kotaku writer, Trick Weeks, the Butcher of Dragon Age, all reposting things about how my hands are fucking clean. I think it's better than even odds that the person who popped him was on the right. They need to deal with their violence problem. Okay. Zach saying Charlie Kirk says gun deaths unfortunately worth to keep Second Amendment. Sharing this interesting story for no reason. You've got Ash saying live by the something something, reposting about Charlie Kirk's life's work and how all of his energy and time targeting out groups while arguing for a world in which gun massacres would be easy to enact, plentiful and inevitable, and he became famous and wealthy doing it, and we're now not supposed to mention that because it's not polite. Zoe Quinn was reposting. It's gonna be so weird watching establishment Dems be performatively sadder about this than they were about the colleague and her husband and dog who got shot and killed. That's not funny. No one should lose their lives to gun violence. So true. That's what we've been saying all along. I'm so glad you agree. Yeah, Zoe Quinn, of course, making all these posts about, like, Gavin Newsom. She's freaking out about the fact that there are Democrats who are saying that this is bad. I think any normal person thinks that this is bad, but okay. Iron Spike. Iron Circus Comics. Never heard of this person a day in my life, I don't think. Reposting Zoe Quinn. Reposting prison culture. That's where you should be. There is no common ground to be sought with fascists. You've got Hetty Bell, senior writer at Sad Panda Studios, reposting. I mean, it goes on and on. Amelia Emberwing, formerly IGN and future PLC. Oh, wow. Who could have fucking thunk it? Works at Nerdist and DC Comics. So another person that they're employing who has this same opinion. They're going to cook up whatever narrative they want, but my gentle recommendation would be not to give them public ammunition to screenshot and slap all over the news. Go to your group chats, babes. Yes, so you can still share the same dangerous fucking rhetoric just in private. See, that's what I was saying earlier. I get that, you know, ultimately, It's good that some of these people were fired, but we're not talking about it making a real difference. Unless they literally fire everybody that has the same stance, meaning they have to cull like 90% of their ranks, they're just going to be silent about it, or they're going to be much more quiet. They're not going to be as vocal. But they're still going to have this opinion. They're still going to fucking hate our guts. They're still going to want to own the chuds when they create new content. And they're still going to attack us. Of course, I did show off the large number of game developers liking this post. The Sucker Punch post. I mean, it's so many people. It really is. YouTuber, oh, BioWare protagonist, Cheese Fiend, Dice Dragon. What do you mean BioWare protagonist? Who is that? Hey, whoa, who is that? I can't, there's no name. There's no name. I gotta know who that is. You've got narrative designer, bylines at mmrpg.com, play GLHF. Oh, hey! Oh, red flag? Hey, play GLHF. I talked about them fucking like a month ago. They're making that new Concord sounding game. What was that fucking game's name? I gotta go to my YouTube channel. Hold on. I gotta type in Concord. I know. I have to go through my archives. I talked about this in May. Okay, it was a little longer than I thought. It's a comedic sci-fi fantasy diverse live service game. So basically fucking Concord. Red flag. Hey, I know what game I'm not going to be playing in the future. So fucking stupid. But this is that same company. I knew I saw it somewhere. Yep. Yep. That's them. Apparently a mythic sci-fi universe with a lighthearted comedic tone and a diverse cast of characters. Anyway, we got them. Yeah, there's just a lot of these people. There's a lot of these people, so I can't say I'm surprised. I'm not even disappointed because I don't expect better from these individuals. But yeah, I'll probably end up covering this again. Oh, Anna Valens, person who was targeting Kirsha. Carolyn Petit, former Kotaku senior editor, I want to say. Of course, classic, who would have thunk it? Carly Valachi, a writer for various Scum, Dark Vipers for GTA. He's not a voice actor for GTA 6, it's a joke. He's a YouTuber and a speedrunner for GTA 5. More Kotaku, current IGN. I mean, guys, this list never ends. Current Kotaku, current IGN ESPN, Paradox Interactive, DC, another one, former IDGA, which is the Indie Gatekeeper DEI pushing con group. Wow, it just keeps going, so I'll be keeping my eye on this. Lots of people in this industry who are genuinely fucking scummy people, who have no respect for anybody else, and I can't say I'm surprised. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of the Kirk topic, and really it just boils down to me spending 2 hours absolutely roasting people in the industry because they begged for attention, so I'm gonna give it to them. But now we get to move on to different topics, like how Batman now is beating up white nationalists. You know, I remember when comic book characters used to be cool and used to beat up interesting groups, unique groups, and groups that were maybe, sure, inspired by real groups, but They weren't just copy and pastes. You know? Like, the Court of Owls, ooh, oligarchs, oh, that's cool. That's cool, that's cool. People actually controlling Gotham from the shadows, but they weren't, you know, a direct copy of a real group. Absolute Batman will be beating up white nationalists in an upcoming comic special. Because this is definitely why people read comics. Is to have probably some fucking activist write a story just to push their own activism. I haven't heard about this. I literally just saw this as soon as we opened it up. Transformers, Daniel Warren Johnson. Is this a Transformers guy who wrote the fucking non-binary Transformers? Or is this like a, I guess we'll say I guess partially semi-normal guy? Oh, great! Wow! Guess where he lives, guys? Massachusetts. Thank you, Daniel Warren Johnson. You're such a great guy. Great for me. American I don't know who he is. Transformers 2023 to present. Oh, so he's okay. He has only been in the comic industry since it started getting really fucking woke. Space Mullet, The Ghost Fleet, Alabaster, The Good, the Bad, and the Bird, Extremity, Murder Falcon, Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, Beta Ray Bill, Do a Powerbomb. So I guess, I mean, I've heard of, obviously, this Justice League. It was from the 2022 run. Beta Ray Bill, Wonder Woman, Transformers, The Moon is Following Us. Most of these are fucking dead series. Like, Extremity is the longest one that he did, which was 12 issues. But apparently he's fucking up Batman now. Because this is what people want. Alright, put a 1 in chat if this is the type of Batman you want to see and that you're going to buy this series. And put a 2 in chat if you don't give a fuck. It says there's a lot of love going around for Absolute Batman for good reason. Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta have come up with a unique interpretation of the character that not only appeals to our intellectual understanding of Batman, but also our primal desire to cheer for a giant dude with an axe. We can revel in both the thematic material behind Absolute Batman as well as the spectacle that we see on the page. Now, writer-artist Daniel Warren Johnson is poised to take these elements of Absolute Batman its next logical point in the upcoming Absolute Batman Annual #1. Hold on. Let's see. Think we're gonna find anything? Think we're gonna find anything sus? Oh, he's not active. Wow. I'm kind of fucking shocked. This guy isn't active. Is he active on X? What's his name? I already forgot. Sorry. Just not that special, I guess, Buster. What's this guy's name? Daniel Warren Johnson. He's not active. Probably for the better. Not even on Blue Sky. Hasn't posted anything in a month. 88k followers, and you're not fucking doing anything. Seems pretty weird to me. He said, I don't know, man. It's just Batman beating up white nationalists. A response that had the audience exploding with applause. Just goes to show the type of people that they're trying to make their products appeal to now. Elsewhere in the panel, Johnson explained his choice behind exploring the subject matter. I'm not exactly a subtle storyteller, but I'm angry, and it's coming out in these next 30 pages. I love when people use entertainment as their own political platform! I love that! So talented. The Absolute Batman annual will take place in the... Oh, I'm not reading this anymore. Oh my fucking god. The Jeff word. Raw formative? I almost said formative. Formative chaos from Absolute Batman's earliest days. I love when these people use entertainment as their own political platform. It's so good. It always makes me want to just rush to the store. I love buying stuff like this. Of course. Hasn't even been up for very long. Looks like this was posted a couple of hours ago. 8:35 p.m. Whew. 12K likes. And hundreds of reposts, thousands of retweets and comments. So Batman went from fighting clowns to clout-chasing headlines. Woke Batman is absolutely stupid. Let's further brainwash and push violence against innocent people the left deems Nazis. Classic woke pandering. Now even Batman has to pick a political side. Well, technically, Batman was always political. Because Bruce is rich. And if he's rich, he's part of the system. Reminds me of the Batman, 2022 Batman. I like that movie. I genuinely thought that the Robert Pattinson Batman was good. But there's always got to be something stupid. And it's like when Selena Kyle says, don't you want to take down these rich white fucks? Whatever she says. Something along those lines. It's stupid. You always have to add something in and you ruin the experience. More incitement of violence from the left. Wow, so fucking stupid. No wonder. Oh, no need to wonder where the artist's political leanings lie. Yeah, they're literally saying that I'm angry about the state of the world, and so I'm going to put that into my entertainment. If you are actually a good writer, you can put certain themes in your content that aren't as easily recognizable, but you can also tell a larger general story, right? Sure, there might be themes like war is bad and something like that. And that's fine. You could take a current political situation and twist it and use it as inspiration, but to basically just fucking copy and paste your opinions and then say, yeah, this is supposed to represent the modern real world, it's crazy. This isn't what people want. Leftards want to be Batman so bad, but all they are is a bunch of discount jokers. New Batman is gay. Whew. I love that. Batman, stop beating up minorities. That's my hobby. Beating up peaceful people instead of violent blacks. There are a couple of comments. Like this. I also think that, yeah, you know, the thing about a character like Batman is he would beat up whoever the fuck was doing bad shit. But of course, with these people, it boils down to making everything about race or gender or sexuality, things like that. And it's always the straight white men that are the most evil in these people's eyes. Comics have always been political. Batman is going to be justice. Let's fucking go. Oh, hey! We got someone actually saying they're gonna buy it. Sounds like a must-read for sure. Can't wait. Wow. How stunning and brave of this guy. To buy the comic where Batman is beating the fuck out of white nationalists. What a stunning and brave guy. I wonder how his wife's boyfriend feels about this. So yeah, I mean, clearly it's facing quite a bit of backlash right now, and rightfully so. Not particularly shocking. I didn't know about this, because I just saw it at the top of my feed, but can't say I'm really fucking shocked, given these are the types of people that are being hired by all of these companies. They're not normal people. They're not sane people. They're people that view everything through a political lens. And if you're not with them and you're not an ally, you are completely against them and you're a disgusting, degenerate isterphobe. And that's their opinion. So, yeah. Not too shocking there. I don't think any of us are surprised at any of this. But that's their mentality. Is everyone who is not them is a terrible, awful person. Anyway. It's time to move on. Let's talk about getting scammed. Because that's what most modern AAA games are fucking scams. Borderlands 4 has gone through a lot of controversy. Randy Pitchford previously said if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to spend $100 on this game. If that's what the developers wanted to charge, you'll find a way to monetarily support them. Then he backtracked and apologized. Then last week, we heard the developers saying, oh, the day one patch is going to do so much, it's going to fix up the game, but don't expect a miracle. And apparently, it's a miracle if even computers that cost thousands of dollars can run this game, because Borderlands 4 launches to mostly negative reviews on Steam thanks to widespread performance problems and crashes. Another day, another freaking scam. Borderlands 4 is out today, and it's been very well received critically, at least by those sites who received pre-released code. They're so fucking salty. I love it. I love it. The sites who received pre-release codes, a list that doesn't include PC Gamer. I love it. Oh, jeez. Woo. Rover, thank you for the 10. Gifted. Chat say thank you or you're banned. Perfect timing, Rover. We're owning the fucking journos. We're salty they actually gotta spend fucking money on the games that they have to review. Oh, God forbid. They actually have to buy these games. That is ridiculous. That is horrible. How could this have happened? It's a different situation over on Steam, however, where a whole lot of people are playing Borderlands 4, but the overall user rating is an ugly, mostly negative. I am convinced at this point that one of the problems is that, number one, critics are getting different builds that are not broken. Critics are getting, like, fine-tuned titles. Second of all, if they're not, they're only playing a small portion of the game. Or 3, they genuinely don't give a fuck about performance and they ignore the performance issues to prop up a company. There is no possible way that the critics are giving this game a 9 out of 10 and it's this fucking broken for people, to the point where on Steam it is sitting at a mostly negative. There's no shot. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Assassin, thank you for the $19.99. Never change. Thank you so much for your support. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Cabal, thank you for the 5. Damn it, now Absolute Batman 2. I just bought the first volume. It was a cool story. Well, hate to be the bearer of bad news. I really do, but unfortunately it's you know, it's to own the chuds and all that. Wow, YouTube doesn't censor my donations. Weird. What? YouTube doesn't censor... You mean my donations? Who's censoring your donations? YouTube doesn't censor? You mean YouTube does censor? I'm confused. Classic woman. Can you repeat that, please? Vera blinded the chat earlier. Oh, with the white screen? Pay for games! Who do you think I am, Bruce Wayne? Well, apparently Bruce is out fighting white nationalists, Sam, so maybe... Are you trying to own the chuds? Rip Vera thinking. I don't know if I'm out of it. I already lost my last brain cell for the night. Or if I'm just reading that wrong. Because usually it's YouTube does censor. But you're saying YouTube doesn't censor your donation? So who sent your donation? Streamlabs? If it's Streamlabs, because I'm not on OBS, it's not going to pop up on this. Unfortunately, I don't think... Oh, YouTube censors my chats, but not my donations. Oh, okay. Fuck YouTube. I mean, YouTube's pretty decent sometimes. I'll give them that. I mean, I'm still on this platform, but for some reason, voice to chat sucks on my phone. Oh, okay. I thought I was just reading that completely wrong. Then I was like, wouldn't it be YouTube does censor? Anyway, thank you for the 10, Rover. Thank you. There were times I wasn't able to donate on mobile, but I could just find on my laptop or PC. Yeah, I don't know. There's always something broken on these platforms. We love YouTube. I love YouTube. Don't ban me. It says the problem, going by hundreds of user reviews that have already been posted, is almost entirely related to the performance. Multiple Steam users report low frame rates and persistent stuttering, even at reduced graphical settings and on powerful hardware, and complaints about frequent crashes are also common. I think what we're going to do, because I do stream most games, is I think that I'm going to stream Borderlands 4 on Saturday and Sunday. I was really pissed earlier when I was looking. This shit isn't on fucking Game Pass. I actually have to buy this shit for $70? Do I look like I'm fucking Elon Musk? I gotta buy this game for $70? I don't even want to play this game. Never mind spend $70 fucking dollars on it. It's probably gonna be bad. I mean, I will. It is what it is, right? But shit. I thought Game Pass was supposed to have new games on it. So, it's a $70 game that, by the way, has $100 and $130 editions. It's fucking broken. Even if you have really powerful hardware, that's terrible. This should not be the norm. And this has been the norm for so many games now. I mean, we have Monster Hunter Wilds. It was broken. They finally fixed it. Break 5 other things. Metal Gear Solid. Snake Eater's performance struggles compared to MGS2 on the PS2. Lost Soul aside, devs acknowledge performance issues, assures players it is actively working on optimizations. Here's Gears of War Reloaded, how to potentially fix performance issues. Games should not be releasing at a full price if they are going to be broken, period. That should not be the case. Alex Kane, thank you for the 2. Hey, you are loved, okay? Red, white, and blue. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. I'm so cheap, I won't even spend $70 on a $100 bill. That is pretty cheap. Terrible, terrible performance. Worst I've ever seen, somebody wrote in one negative review. Turned it down to low graphics presets and couldn't hit 60 FPS even with FSR upscaling on my RX 6900 XT. 30 FPS at native medium to high settings on 1440p with a 3080 Ti. Pirate 135246, that'll be on the quiz. Concurred. It also looks worse than BL3, to be honest. I don't know how it runs as bad. I don't know what it's at right now over on... Why'd it just fucking close? You loser. Don't close. Don't close. It's at mixed right now, so it has gone up a little bit. It's a little bit more positive. English reviews. Mix. No, I don't want English. I want all. I want all. Okay. All 24 language. It is still sitting at mixed. It is. None of my friends can get the game to start past the main menu. When you quit and restart, it doesn't close the original instance and still uses full memory. It doesn't matter how good the game is. AAA devs deserve low reviews on their games until they learn how to release working titles. Indie devs release working games, but multi-million-dollar companies can't. Absolutely pathetic. True. Terrible optimization. Another Unreal Engine 5 casualty. Not worth buying in its current state unless you have a NASA PC. I mean, I kind of have a NASA PC. Think I can run it? Probably not. Stutterlands 4 review, an unholy trio of pricing UE5 and de novo. It doesn't have 2 forms of de novo. I've been a Borderlands fan for years. The chaos, the humor, the endless loot grind. It's always been about fun first, never too serious, but Borderlands 4 feels like Gearbox got dazzled by Unreal Engine 5, slapped on a $70 price tag, and forgot the part where the game is supposed to actually run. Don't forget, guys, Randy Pitchford said if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to spend as much money as possible. They say that the stutters are constant, the crashes are brutal, and it feels like the game fights you harder than the bosses do. Every firefight turns into a slideshow. Every new area feels like a gamble whether the game will hold together or not. For a serious, built-on, fast, frantic chaos, it's painful when the biggest challenge is just keeping the game from breaking. Unreal Engine 5 looks pretty, but plays ugly. Pricing feels like a joke we're not in on. What's still great is that underneath the mess, it might be the best Borderlands since 2. The humor lands, the gunplay is addictive, and the new mechanics have real potential to take the series forward. Yeah, if you can actually get it to run. And they're talking about how Randy Pitchford told us to have realistic expectations. Fine, here's mine. I expect a $70 game to not run like a beta test. I expect a studio with Gearbox's legacy not to let DRM strangle its own players. I expect respect. Instead, we got excuses. Absolutely fucking true. This is a problem with so many studios now, is they don't respect their players. They don't respect the people that they have jobs because of. There are some positives here, saying like feels like BL2 again, and I'm loving it. So far, the story and the gameplay are actually really fun. Okay. How can you give a game a recommended positive when you go on to say that it's fucking broken? I don't know if people are too generous and I'm too negative, and so meeting in the middle seems insane. But why would you give it a recommended if it's broken? If the game doesn't run and you can't fucking play it, how is that a positive? How is that a plus? How is that good? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. That's insane to me. Like, force these companies to respect you, brother. Optimization should be better, but yet you give it a recommend. Optimization should be better, and de novo needs to be removed. Guaranteed performance boost. I myself haven't experienced any crashes. No. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Are they... They're purging. Uh-oh, here we go. Response to recent community concerns about Take-Two's terms of service. They're, I guess, locking everything down. Because there's really no discussions? Yeah. Read me first. Oh, no, it's general discussions. Okay, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm stupid. Usually I have my settings set up so it doesn't go to that page. Okay, they're not. But holy fuck. Whew. Why use UE5 anyway? Please add LGBTQ+ to the game. Runs fine for me, all liars. Check videos. Crash number 12 in 6 hours. Shocking that 200k people bought this. Got performance issues? Stop being poor. Can't wait for this to be 90% off. I'm about to risk it. Wow. Listen, I say this all the time. If I wasn't a content creator, 90% of the games that I buy, I would not be purchasing. And this is one of them. You know, I'll stream it over the weekend. I'll buy my stupid copy for $8 billion. I'll take out of my fucking 401k to buy this shit. It's so expensive. $70 for this, though. Like, this is, in my opinion, this would have been probably a good $40 game. I don't think any Borderlands should cost $70. I don't see $70 worth of value in Borderland. Even though I liked one in kind of to. I don't even see the value in those. But if you're going to charge full price for something, it has to run like a full price product. And this doesn't. And that's why it's so infuriating to see companies straight up lie before release about how, oh my gosh, if you have realistic expectations, the game will go great for you. That's terrible. People should not be treated like this. This should not be the norm. And that's why I sit here and call all these out. And it's like with the mentality that I've always said that I have, if I buy one copy, and let's say there's 100 people watching a stream, that potentially means 99 copies not sold to companies. And if the companies are trash, they don't deserve that extra money. And if the game is good, you guys can see that and buy it yourself, and then we can all support a developer together. If it wasn't for, you know, YouTubers and content creators, then there'd be significantly more copies sold. But damn, is it hard to want to support these people. Also, Cat and Keeps, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing okay. Thank you for the support. Say thank you or you're banned. Chat, Vera taking the bullet for us. Probably not the time to be saying that, to be honest. 70 bucks is 14 beers these days. And that's like, I don't know, 3 days. Oh my god, fuck my life. This whole week has been fuck my life. It really has. September is just the fuck my life month. Lots of trash games releasing. I can afford plenty of good $100 games. I'm happy with spending $70 on a good game that actually runs well. But these don't. Another UE5 flop. I'm shocked. Carlos, I'm right there with you. I literally never saw this coming. I never thought this was going to happen. I am truly perplexed by this. It is mind-boggling that Unreal Engine 5 game is fucking busted. Who could have imagined this happening? Who literally could have imagined this happening? I can't believe the video games release broken. I don't think I've ever seen one launching broken anytime recently. I think that most games have actually been launching in a pretty good state, and these developers definitely deserve our support. They're great developers who are doing great things, not releasing games in a half-assed state. They definitely respect our wallets. They definitely care about us. And the media, of course, is already fucking coping. Was a Borderlands 4 preview skewed by faulty hardware? No, it just runs like shit. Stop damage controlling for these shit-ass companies. Holy fudge. Stop. Stop damage controlling. I mean, during the Clueless Gamer Borderlands 4 like charity preview event, the game broke. Now, I've never like really watched this because it's Conan O'Brien and I don't even know that guy's name. Just some guy. But they were just playing the game. It's not like he was, I don't know, trying to glitch through the map and glitch on a ledge underneath the surface or something like that. He's just shooting and the game breaks. Like, that's not a good look. During a charity, like, preview event, your game just crashes. Yikes. Yikes. Whew. Game crashing in a promotional video is amazing. 4 minutes of gameplay and then a game-breaking crash. Who knew Conan would bring us the most honest playtesting of a game? Yeah. So, that happens. I know Mark Kurt had posted, we have to talk about the Borderlands 4 performance. From the game crashing during Conan's expensive promotional stream to the CEO statement setting expectations for performance to not be good on low-end hardware. And now this very strange 8-core recommendation. None of this is a good sign, and it isn't. Because I understand that if you're running a potato PC, you can't run the latest games on high settings. I think all of us understand that. All of us get that. Nobody's challenging that. But your game is broken on high-end setups too. That's not good. It barely even looks better than BL3. The whole point of cell shading is that it's supposed to deliver without being taxing. None of that should be necessary. Borderlands is an absurd and cartoony shooter-looter. It should prioritize smooth gameplay with stylized graphics and over-spec pushing for visual eye candy. I think that Borderlands, without good performance, should be a no purchase for anybody. It's not like we're talking about a walking simulator here either. We're like, 30 FPS is fine. Like, it's fine if there's a couple stutters because you're just walking. Even though that is really unacceptable, you need a game to run if it's a high impact, intense looter shooter. You can't have a game that is broken because you can't actually play the game. It's not like it's, I don't know, Tales of the Shire over here, which, by the way, is, what, 3 months old now? 2 months old? Yeah, 2 months old. Insanity. Devs don't know how to handle UE5 and just slap on DLSS, then ship it. Happy to not have pre-ordered the game. This game is not worth upgrading machines yet again. Sorry. I'm sure having 2 forms of DRM doesn't help in the slightest. Yeah, that is bad. I already wasn't interested. I'm less interested than ever, sadly, and I just saw Cage the Elephant had nostalgia for 1. Let's be honest, if they released a new Borderlands with the classic BL2 look, DirectX 9 and $30, people would play it. Absolutely. And this game does already have quite a lot of people playing it. It's not like it is a completely dead game. I think it had 200,000 earlier. Yeah, 200,000 people. So it's successful. I mean, it's definitely got a lot of people in game for sure. But we don't know how many refunds there will be. And that's a good question. And I'm curious to see what the answer is going to be. Of course, we're never going to get the exact answer. But if after the next, week, the game significantly drops in players, one would deduce that it's people having too many problems and, yeah, refunds. So that's a lot of people for sure. Borderlands is a big franchise. We don't know other numbers. Either way, though, a game should not be launching this buggy and broken. It is unacceptable. Let me read some more. I love Borderlands. It was the first real shooter I played growing up, and it actually upsets me to refund the game, but this is just not ready for release. They're talking about their specs and saying just not something I can play right now. We'll buy again if on sale or when patches have been sent out. The 30 FPS lock-on cutscenes sucks so much. I don't know why developers decide that, except for they're lazy and they don't actually know how to do their job. Game crashed on character select for $70. Nah, product refunded. There's a lot of these refunded. Received for free. Barely reaches 60 FPS with a 5090. Oof. Yikes. I was really looking forward to Borderlands 4. It was the first game I've ever pre-ordered in my life. Everybody has different tastes. Everybody has different opinions. You can buy whatever game you want. And I respect that. I hope you buy it and love it and have fun with it. But if this is the game you've been most excited for, more excited than any other game that has ever released in your life, because it's the first game you've pre-ordered, meaning I would deduce you're the most excited for it. It's time to get fucking good, scrub. You need to learn what good entertainment is. This is not good. This is not good. Expedition 33 is better. Silksong is better. I mean, going back 20, 30 years, KOTOR is better. Mass Effect is better. Like, this is This is not it. Don't get excited for new games, I guess. They say that the optimization is absolutely piss poor. I'm running a 4070 Ti and my game struggles to run 100 FPS with DLSS in frame generation on a high graphic preset. And yes, high, not very high, not badass, but bloody high. Man. He's struggling to run 100 FPS. This game's hitting 95. That's just unacceptable. I mean, okay. If you can still hit 100 FPS, that's pretty fucking good, bro. You're not saying it dropped to 3 FPS. Maybe you're being a little bit dramatic. The game's optimization is as good as stepping on my nuts, and I'd still rather have that experience than playing PowerPoint slop. He's really upset that the game dipped to 95 FPS. He's really upset. The only thing that they've optimized is how big the game file is, but altogether that doesn't mean anything, as I paid 110, and I expect the game to be completely functional. Also, he says that he refunded it, but he didn't refund it because it would say that it was refunded. Borderlands 4 FPS. Love Borderlands, even BL3 with its awful storyline. But this game is unfortunately another victim of UE5 and runs terribly. Don't bother purchasing until they optimize the hell out of it for the price Gearbox is asking. They cannot justify the state of the game. Vote with your wallets, people, otherwise this will keep happening. Brother, you didn't even do that. You didn't even refund it. Refund it then if it's broken. It would say that you refunded it. Yeah, I agree with this guy. Any negative review that doesn't have the official "this product was refunded in the body" is meaningless. Yeah. I'm right there fucking with you, Deadeye. I 100% agree. Refunded. No, you didn't. Yeah, this guy is all over these threads, and I'm right fucking there with him. You know we can literally see when someone has actually refunded the game, right? We gotta find Deadeye. I gotta give this guy a fucking Jester award on Steam, because this is true. This is so true. We can see when someone refunded. Guys, we just found my alt account. Me going through, spending hours upon hours for this. Calling people out. The game runs like crap. It won't hold 60 FPS on high settings with 4K with DLSS on a 5090. Even at medium settings, it's a stuttering, unstable mess. It's not like the game has groundbreaking graphics. Hard pass until they optimize it. Oh man, my bro didn't get to this thread. Shit. 7 hours. Oh, this is the same one. Hey, my guy! Didn't listen to all the good advice and still haven't gotten a refund. Sheep will be sheep. This guy's pretty good. He's on top of things. Is he commenting on everyone? Yep. You know it says refunded. Runs like shit. Go fuck yourself, Randy. He's trying to. In medieval times. Hey, thank you so much for the 10. Conan's Clueless Gamer segments have a history of being light years better than real journalism. His Final Fantasy 15 review is the definitive review of that game, and my favorite review ever. I've seen some of them, but I definitely haven't seen all of them. I'll have to check that one out, though. Thank you for the 10. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Time to retire Vera. He's got it. I know. I guess I did my part. I guess I gotta go. Deadeye is the crusader we need. I want to see more of this guy's reviews. He was really spamming them. He was really spamming them. Something. Whew! Your negative review would actually have some meaning if the body of the review contained the official product refunded tag in it. What a fucking guy. Gameplay seems fun, but performance is way too atrocious to recommend. Almost touching 40 FPS with on low with a 3070 and Ryzen 7 5800. Ouch. Product received for free and it's still a negative. I don't usually leave negative reviews over performance issues, especially because this game was really fun, but oh my god, the game cannot decide what frame rate it wants to run on. This is the issue I had with Lost Soul aside. There were times where we were hitting 1 to 120 FPS, and then the other times the game was hitting 20 and 30 FPS. It's atrocious. They say that you might as well wait for performance patches, not like you have much of a choice anyway, unless you want to butcher your graphics settings and enable frame rate gen and upscaling, but for a game that looks like this, don't even bother. I've crashed 5 times in the hour I've played. This is a complete joke. Fix your shit. Comments are disabled for this. Can you... I'd assume you can disable your own reviews, right? Or is that like a Steam mod? I don't actually know. Hold on, I have to do some journalism. On Steam, if it says, is that user enabled? Is that the word I'm looking for? If a Steam review says comments are disabled for this review, it means a user who wrote it has actively chosen to disable the comments. Now, here's my next question. Can Steam moderators enforce comments disabled for this review? They can. They can. Steam moderators can do it, so. Could be this guy, could be Steam. You don't really know. Learn something new every day. Deadeye! You know, we can see if a product's actually refunded or not, right? What a fucking Chad. I gotta friend this guy. I'll gift him 20 bucks. Why not? Refunded because the game is stuck at 30 FPS with consistent crashing. There is a developer saying, we'd appreciate it if you could send more details about your experience through a ticket. They don't care about tickets. They genuinely don't. This game isn't ready for release. My daughter's computer is stuttering bad. Mine is having odd graphical issues with a 5090. With what I can only assume is the dumbest graphics bug ever, where the foliage display distance seems to work the opposite of every game ever, where instead of a circle of nice foliage around your character, then pop in and out of the distance, I literally have a circle of bare terrain around my character with a foliage circle popping in around me. Do these developers not even know how to add basic fucking systems to their games? What do you mean? What? That is crazy. Bad performance. Game of the year, perfectly fine on a 40 super. Surely, guys. Surely. Magnus Lord, thank you so much for becoming a Bronze Titan. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. I'm very grateful for your support, guys. Dad spotted. Yep. Is Vera's main platform YouTube? Yes. Yes, it is. My main platform is YouTube. My second main platform is X. Is BL4 woke or not? I'll be playing it this weekend to test it out, but we do know that there are characters with non-binary, they, them pronouns. There are transgender characters. So, I don't know how extreme it is, though. I don't know. Make playable games. Horrendous performance. I've done clean drivers, followed the official settings, run the game for 15 to 20 minutes each time, tried my own settings. The game is the problem. I have slightly over the recommended hardware and it runs so badly. It's not even just the frames. You can feel the mouse dragging. There's a subtle stuttering. Makes aiming hard. It says 90 FPS with DLSS, but it feels like I'm playing on the 30 FPS on a console. If I run it without all the trickery, I can get about 30 to 40 FPS on medium, which is what the game feels like it's running at with the fake frames or scaling. Yeah. Yeah, this is a problem. This should not be the norm. This should not be okay. This should not be acceptable. This shouldn't be what developers feel is okay to sell to us. Yeah, there is also the theme of fascism. Borderlands 4. Yes, Borderlands 4 is a commentary on fascism and modern day politics. I did a video on it like 2 weeks ago. True and real. Okay, real talk. Playing this on a PC with pretty good specs, similar to mine. I'm having input lag so bad that it's unplayable on the lowest setting. This is not acceptable, not at all. Even a console player wouldn't accept this. Fix tomorrow or I refund. Then refund. You know, stop threatening them with a refund and just refund. That's what I do. Games run like pure BS. My computer isn't the best, but I can run most new games at good quality. 10 FPS in any fight and 34 FPS max if I'm standing still looking at a wall. Refund then! Refund. That's all it takes. It's all it takes. You can do it. I promise. You can do it. You're still under that time frame. Slightly above min specs, and I would think it's a great game otherwise, but heavy reliance on upscaling and frame gen to make it playable leads to input lag and smudged visuals, so... If you're a fan of Borderlands and you were initially excited for this game, maybe hold off on it. Of course, they'll probably end up fixing it over the next few weeks. Most games, though, I just recommend you waiting for a sale. Because there's, I don't know, I haven't played it, but I don't think there's really any way that Borderlands 4 is worth $70, $110, or $130. I don't know. I'll still buy this stupid game and I'll stream it. But I do it in the hopes of people you know, potentially not buying it themselves. Yeah. As I always say, you know, I'm not here to tell people what to buy and what not to buy. But I do think that it's important that people see what they're buying and the quality they're buying before they purchase it themselves. And that used to, once long ago in a galaxy far, far away, be the reviewers' jobs. But now, the reviewers literally sit here and give something a fucking 9 out of 10 when they're straight up lying about their performance in order to stay in a company's good graces. Your one sale is 100 less sales. That's always the goal if a game is bad. And if a game is good, what matters the most is the fact that people will then see a good game if it's good, and then they'll buy it and then they'll support the developers. So, like, it is a win-win. Because either people are saving money or people are seeing entertainment that is so good they want to buy it themselves. And that's the hope. So yeah, I don't know. I want it to be good. I hope it's okay, at least. If it runs. Potentially. We'll see. My expectations are extremely low for most games. And I'm not even sure... I'm not sure what I want to do about Yote at this point. Because I was planning on streaming it. And they did fire that person, but also we know that that is the mentality of a lot of other people at the company. And I know a lot of people have said, like, they're not even interested in it really anymore. I don't know. I have to decide. Generally, I play the games that I talk about, though. So it's still on the list. I hated 3, but 4 is pretty good so far. Are you having, like, a shit time with the game, technologically speaking? I'd assume if you think it's pretty good so far, probably not. But yeah, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up stream in about 5 minutes. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in chat really quickly. Leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying, a dislike if you're not. Donate, support, become a member. Check out the links in the description, of course. I appreciate your support. But your like and your view are all very helpful. Tetris stream? No. Hey, I had said for I don't remember what I said, actually. Never mind. I think I said for like 500 or $1,000 I'd do a whole Tetris stream. Listen, that was generous. That was generous of me. And it's not happening. The offer's off the table now. Farrah's scared of Tetris? I'm not scared of Tetris. I'm just not good at Tetris. You know, it has been years, though. Maybe I'd be better at it now. Guys, I have timer anxiety. Never mind it going down. You need to watch where the pieces are going. You have to fucking watch what's happening at the bottom, and you have to put them into place. And then, oh, you only have a certain amount of slots, and then you end up getting fucked over. And then the game, it ends. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Actual fucking anxiety. But Tetris is your favorite game, Farrah. It definitely isn't. Get good at Tetris. Maybe one day. Also, Tetris stream would be great. No DEI at all. Tetris is fucking gay. Because it's got rainbow colors. This shit is fucking propaganda. Tetris is woke. That's why I can't stream it, guys. I can't. I can't support those developers. Whew. It is what it is. Dark Souls, an Elden Ring game. Major inspo from Tetris, surely. He's gay! Tetris is base. Put in Journo mode. Very love your 2 new streams, Mondays and Wednesdays. Glad you're enjoying. Base Tetris. No, I overcame the anxiety with exposure. These streams are exposure enough. It is what it is. But yeah, you know, it's unfortunately all shit. The internet is shit. New games are shit. Video game journalists and developers are shit. By the way, Henry Cavill got injured. Shit. He was injured during training for Highlander, meaning this movie's gonna be delayed by like a fucking year. Shit. It's unfortunate. Bad news, guys. We are cooked. It's bad. It's just not good. Fuck my life. FML. It's not good. But tomorrow, guys, at 4 p.m. Eastern, will be live over for F&T. I'll be on F&T tomorrow night, which will be very cool. I'm sure we'll be talking about the hacks in the industry and how they're reacting to Charlie Kirk. And I'm sure that we will be talking about Alien Earth, maybe Peacemaker, all of those things. But I will be on F&T tomorrow. So, yeah. And then, of course, on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be live again, and we'll be playing Borderlands 4. We'll be playing BL4, and then we're going to play that Saturday and Sunday. And then I think after that, we're going to either rotate the games. We're going to rotate between Silksong and Borderlands 4, or I'm going to go back to Silksong and just finish Silksong. And then after that, we'll play more BL4 and probably finish that up. Little Miss Elden Ring is afraid of geometry and timers. Yes. Yes, I am. So that's the plan. And then, of course, next week we'll be back to probably the normally scheduled programming. Again, you know, I was planning on playing Silksong tonight, but there's a lot of people in the industry who were begging for attention, so I couldn't help but call them out. So yeah, guys, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you so much for being here the past few hours. Of course, I appreciate all of your donations. I appreciate all of your memberships, whether they're re-upped or gifted. I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out the past few hours for all the discussions, all the topics. And yeah, tomorrow night I'll be on F&T, and then I'll be back Saturday, Sunday for Borderlands 4. And we'll take it from there. So yeah, check out today's videos if you haven't already seen them. New videos tomorrow per usual. The time will probably be a little different. The videos will probably be a little bit earlier. And then one or two will probably end up releasing while I'm on the show. I'm not sure yet, though. But, yeah, guys, of course, thank you so much for being here the past few hours. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. And have a really good rest of your evening, everyone.